So, hello again. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm very good, thank you.
So, how would you start this journey to spiritual work and light? What was your motive to go into this area on your life? Why you choose this path?
I think my soul has always chosen this path.
Hmm.
I feel like I was very sensitive as a child, and I was always very intuitive. I could always feel a lot of different things that I couldn't understand when I was a child.
Hmm.
And as when I turned 16, I had this sort of revelation when I realized that I was meant to help people. I didn't know exactly how. I didn't know what I was supposed to do at the time. I was very young, but I knew I was supposed to help people. I was supposed to support them in some kind of way. And so that's kind of where the journey started for me is just having that realization and then slowly evolving into into where I am now.
Okay. So, at that age, 16 years, okay,
Mhm.
you start gaining consciousness of uh, of your um of your mission in this earth.
Yes.
Yes, of your
Yes.
mission. Hmm.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I worked at a diabetes
Hmm.
association, so it was like healthcare. And then at that time, I knew that I was supposed to do something with healthcare, but I didn't know exactly what. And then I finished high school, and then I ended up going to college for massage therapy. And when I did massage therapy, I sort of intuitively kind of picked that in a way because I knew I needed to understand the human body. I really wanted to understand the human body, how the body works, how it functions. And that really started to sort of take me on this journey of healing. And massage therapy was the gateway that took me into learning about healing, learning about spirituality, learning that there is more to the physical body, than just the physicality, that there was the mind, there was the spirit, that there was the emotion, and starting to piece everything together, realizing that everything works together and you can't just treat the body. You can't just look at physical symptoms. You have to look at the body holistically. And then, obviously, not by accident, I started to meet people while I was a massage therapist. I had my own business, my own clinic for close to 10 years. And during that time, I met a lot of really interesting people. And I met this one lady in particular who was an energy healer. And she decided to do a session on me. And she said, when she did the session on me, that, you're a healer. You're meant to heal people, not just physically, not just with massage, but with energy. And this was probably, I'm going to say, 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. And that's when I started to really, really get into energy healing. I studied it, I learned about it, and I figured out that I had a natural talent for it, a natural gift, that I could feel energy. I discovered that.
Oh, yes, I know. I know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like you feel energy from another people. Yes, I
Yes.
know.
Yes. And it
Um,
was something I always felt, but I didn't understand what I felt before I was introduced to it.
and but you start to travel this path with energy healer, and
Yes.
but you have any special course, any special knowledge? For example, astrology, tarot. What you start? What was driving force to start going to energy healer? What was
I,
the path? The path.
the path was actually through massage therapy
Just
because,
massage therapy?
yeah,
Just
because when I was massaging people and people were sort of naturally telling me their problems all the time. They started to naturally tell me, their very deep, life struggles and things like that.
okay.
And so as they started to tell me about their life struggles, while I was massaging them, then I started to realize that, there's more to their physical pain. Like their physical pain is not just physical, that it's energetic. And so I actually studied energy healing on my own. I didn't take any special course. I just started to have a very deep interest for it, and I started to look for books and read as many books as I could. I studied Louise Hay, who is a world renowned person who deals with, like, who explains very clearly actually how energy works and how certain symptoms in the body are connected to energy. So I just started to study this on my own, and I started to put the connection together, and I started realizing that, okay, so the physical problems that my clients are experiencing are actually energetic.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like a little bit like the Chinese traditional medicine when you put the nails to
Yes.
conduct the energy through the body. Yes, something
Yes.
like
So
that.
I wasn't doing any acupuncture, but I had a lady in my clinic who I hired, and she was an acupuncturist. And so working with her also kind of opened that world up to me as well. And I never studied acupuncture per se, but I did understand that there was acupuncture points in the body, that there was meridians in the body, that, energy flows. There are channels of energy in the body. And as I started to really connect everything, and the more research I did, the more I studied, the more I began to understand that energy is something that we can manipulate. It is something that we can move consciously in the body or around the body. And so I started to do energy healing sessions for my clients, and they started to have significant improvement. Their physical pain started to disappear without massage. So,
So
yeah, it
without
took me down a
massage,
whole.
okay. Uh,
Sorry?
you tell me you start with the massaging, but after that you start just with the energy healing. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So from massage, I really went into energy healing. And simultaneously, I was also moving into counseling because I was talking to people and giving them sort of a higher perspective. I was sort of naturally tapping into their issues. I was able to see, the bigger picture. So when somebody would tell me about their problems, then I was able to see the bigger picture, and I would, like, share that information with them. I would help them understand that, hey, look at your situation from this perspective and from this perspective. So as I began to connect the dots, so it was energy healing and counseling was like kind of together. It happened at the same time.
Okay. Like for traditional medicine is like psychiatry, a little bit like psychology. Yes.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. Except it's from a spiritual perspective.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's from an energy perspective. Yes.
Yes, and from a soul perspective, right? Because I work with the soul, and that's what I always tell my clients is I work with your soul. I'm working with your higher self. I'm working with a very deep part of you. So when I meet somebody, I immediately start to get visions. I immediately start to get, information about that person. So I can read energy very quickly and very naturally. It just happens.
So it's like an intuitive path. Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Hmm.
That's why my channel is also called The Intuitive Healer, because it's
Of
just
course.
intuition.
Hmm.
It's something I can't even turn off, right? It just naturally happens where I can pick up information about people.
Okay, and how you can transmit that knowledge? It's impossible to transmit that knowledge and know-how to other people. You think it's impossible because it's only centered on yourself, on your gifts from God, or no? You can transmit your knowledge to other people.
Like
You
to
can
teach other
teach. Yes, you
people,
can teach other people to be intuitive like you, or no?
I think all of us are intuitive. I think every single person on the planet is
I
intuitive.
think
I
so. I
think
think so. I
I,
agree.
I think for most people though, what the problem is that it's dormant, it is shut off. And if you are too focused on the physical world, and if you are too focused outside of you all the time, then you're not going to be tuned in to that intuition. You're not going to hear those messages. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
So connecting the dots, you need to know yourself first.
yes, very deeply.
Very deeply. That's the secret. Mhm.
Yes. Yes. And my journey has been exactly that. So I've had a pretty difficult life, and every challenge that I have experienced, everything that I've ever faced has been pushing me closer and closer to discovering myself.
So okay, it's a grip because I don't know if you know a course, an American course, call it a course in miracles that tells
Yeah.
exactly that. You
Yes, I
know,
have the book.
okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Uh,
Yes, that's a very, very serious
y-
textbook.
Yes, 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 it is.
Yeah.
I'm studying a few months from now, and it's very difficult to understand at first. And
Yes.
you keep trying to understand what it is. It's a very
There's
difficult book to understand
it
at
is a
first.
very difficult book. It has so much wisdom in it,
Yes.
and it's such deep wisdom that I think that you have to be a person who thinks very deeply to be able to understand it.
And you have to be out of your ego. You have to be
Yes.
out of your ego, because if you
Yes.
go read the book with your ego, you cannot understand nothing.
You won't understand the messages that are contained in it because it is so high vibrational. The information is such a highly spiritual information. It is truly, it has to be understood with the spirit, not with the mind.
Yes, it's true. Yes.
Yes. But I have that book, and that was kind of interesting too, how God sort of like led me to this book one day. And it was just, and I remember finding it, and I heard about it, and I said, this is interesting. I need to order this book. And I ordered it, and I have it. And reading through it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is harder than the Bible. Like, it's a challenge to understand that book, but there's immense wisdom in it.
Okay, so you don't even try another path, for example, astrology or reading tarot cards, nothing like that?
Astrology is definitely something. So I studied astrology for 2 years. Well, actually, since then I've been continuously studying. So we'll say I've been studying astrology for like 3 to 5 years now.
Okay.
And it is definitely something that I've noticed that weaves in, and it connects very beautifully with our journey. Astrology, in my opinion, is nothing more than a roadmap to figuring out yourself, to becoming a better version of yourself.
Okay. So you read astrology maps for your clients or no?
No, I don't do that. My specialty is energy healing. So I clear energy for people. I remove a lot
Oh,
of energy attachments, entities, different things like that. I also do mediumship for clients. So I do communicate with spirits, and I do coaching and counseling. These are the three main things that I focus on.
you don't use the kind of a pendulum for energy searching, you know?
I do have a pendulum, but I only use it for personal use.
Okay, okay, just for personal.
For person, yeah. Like, so when I have specific questions, then I will use it. Yeah.
So you will still go on this path, energy healing, okay? And you
Yes.
are interested in another kind of spiritual path, or will you think you'll be through the rest of your life, you'll be exactly where you are now, just a spiritual healer, nothing more? What do you think
No,
for the
definitely not.
future?
I know I'm supposed to teach, and I am teaching. This is why I
Okay.
had to start my YouTube channel.
Hmm.
So I'm fully aware that I'm meant to teach. I've been receiving that message for many, many years. And teaching is always something that I've done. I mean, I teach even in my sessions. When I have a one-on-one session with a client, I'm teaching them to understand themselves on a deeper level.
Okay.
So I feel like my path is, even though I've been doing this for many years now, I feel like my path is continually unfolding. I feel like the learning never ends, and the
Hmm.
expansion of myself never ends.
Okay. Yes, it's true. I agree.
So I'm going to continue unfolding, and I think my path is going to change based on how I unfold as a soul for the rest of my life.
Okay. So you think in this time, when you look at outside the world of this society, and
Yeah.
in this time of artificial intelligence, do you think it's a threat or an opportunity to people get free from work and start to search spiritual path and spiritual knowledge? What do you think? Artificial intelligence, is it's a benefit or it's a bad thing?
I think it's both. I think we can use artificial intelligence for some good purposes, but mostly I would say that what it does is that it disconnects us from the spirit aspect of humanity,
Okay.
because it is void of that, right? Like, it doesn't have a consciousness. I mean, it does actually in its own way. But artificial intelligence is really not something I feel is going to, if we use it incorrectly, it is going to be our downfall.
Our downfall. You believe that?
Yes.
And do you think something positive about artificial intelligence?
Yes,
What
I
do you
think
think?
it can be a really wonderful tool, but it has to be used consciously,
Okay.
right? It has to be used in a way where humanity is using it to help one another, where we are using it to help ourselves,
Okay.
not to not to bypass, right?
Okay.
Because I still feel like, certain work, certain difficulties that we move through, those difficulties grow us. They make us become better individuals. They make us become stronger. And if we're going to use artificial intelligence to bypass that growth, right, then we're not going to have that experience. It's going to sort of stall our spiritual evolution. Hard
Okay.
work makes us stronger. It makes us more resilient. It makes us become more aware of who we truly are and what we are capable of.
So, but you think in the future, in the 50 years from now, do you agree that artificial intelligence can do all the work, all the boring work of this society, and give us free time to know ourselves better? Do you think maybe it's a good thing, or in your perspective?
I hope we use it for that.
Okay.
I hope that we use it for that. Yes, where it can eliminate, mundane, boring tasks, right? That are very repetitive. There's a lot of things that I think AI can really support humanity with and can help us with. But it really does have to be used appropriately. It has to be used for the right reasons. And what I'm concerned about is that there are people that right now don't want to use it for the right reasons.
Okay. So, and about traditional medicine, traditional physician doctors, do you think they are willing to accept new alternative medicine? Do you think do you think in the future you and the light workers of the world are being recognized by their peer doctors in the hospitals and clinics, or no? Do you think it's possible in the future merge together, or no?
I I believe personally that the future of medicine is energy.
Okay, I agree. So yes.
And I think it's going to take some time to evolve to get there, where Western medicine or modern medicine will fully acknowledge and help and allow integration to happen.
Okay. Yes.
I think it's going to take some time because currently the way the system is set up, the way Western medicine and the way the entire system is set up is meant to only treat the body in very separate,
Yes. That's a
right?
problem.
Yes. So the mind is separate from the body, the spirit is separate from the body, right? They're only looking at symptoms, they're only focusing on specific
Exactly.
physical.
It's sorry. It's a North American kind of way of thinking. It's very specific, very
Yes.
specialized. You are specialized in everything. You are too narrow, too specialized. But you
Yes.
can't see the whole. You just can see your specialization. So I think it's time to grow together and not close in our little
Yes.
rooms. So
Yes.
yes,
Medicine needs to evolve and we need to move away from overly specializing and
yes,
start
yes.
integrating and recognize that we have to treat the human body as a whole. Like we are one biological organism, if you think about it, right? And that biological organism that the human body is has to be treated as a whole. It
Okay.
has energy centers, it has energy flowing through it, it has a nervous system that is connected to that energy, right? So it's like we have to start looking at the body as a whole. But I think there is too much ego in medicine.
Okay, I agree also.
And I think that is what the problem is. So until people begin to recognize that we have to move the ego aside and be
I agree.
more open
Yes.
to acknowledging that there's more to Western medicine than we think, right? And start integrating all of it together. I don't know how long that's going to take. That's a process. Like we have to evolve to get there, right? And
Yes,
and
yes.
the people that are indoctrinated in that system have to have an open mind to evolve and allow other ideas, other possibilities to be integrated into how we do medicine and into how we heal the body.
Yes, because I don't know if you know also, there are many people that are ill from cancer through healer, energetic healers, not
Yes.
through pills, not through traditional doctors, but through um, energetic healers. So
Yes.
they are free from cancer, for example. There are many
Mhm.
cases that I'm aware of it. I don't know if you know, but I think so, probably.
Absolutely. Yes.
So the cancer is not only, of course, it's manifested in the physical world, but it's transcend the physical world. The cancer is made by something energetic, something that is not, um, I will say, in equilibrium, in
Yeah.
equilibrium. Okay.
Yes. Yes. The way I see cancer is actually a physical manifestation
Hmm.
of a long-standing energetic issue. So a long-standing energetic imbalance.
Yes.
And because I've worked with people for so many years, I've literally worked with thousands of people. And the repeating pattern that I see over and over is that when you don't heal something emotionally, some kind of a trauma, some kind of difficulty that you experienced, when that is not healed, what the body starts to do, because the body is always trying to heal itself, right?
Yeah.
So what the body begins to do is it starts to condense that energy. It starts to squeeze it together and it starts to push it together into one specific nodule, right? Or a tumor or something.
Hmm.
That's what cysts are, all of that stuff. So it starts to squeeze that energy together. It becomes more dense. And the reason why it becomes more dense and the reason why the body pushes that energy into one ball is to help eliminate it. Because now that there's a physical ball, right there, now that there's a tumor,
Hmm.
now that tumor can be extracted. So cancer is actually a form of very deep-seated pain or trauma that was never healed, that was never addressed.
Exactly. Exactly. The same as the familiar constellations. You know what it is? It's something I don't know if you know what is. I think in English it's the name. It's family constellations. Do you hear about it? What is a
Like
family
is
constellation? Is you travel to your past, to your ancestors' past, and see any trauma that propagates to your DNA, and so it justifies why a baby has a cancer with a 1 year
yes,
old
yes,
is because traumas unhealed from these ancestors, grandfather, great 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 grandfather, and grandmother, is the
yes.
trauma that transverses to DNA. Okay.
We carry generational trauma.
Yes. In
I talk
DNA.
about generational trauma breaking or karmic cycle breaking. I talk about that all the time. I am one of those people in my family. So in every single family, there is one person who is meant to break generational karma. And and as you said, this is why a 1-year-old will carry cancer or will have cancer all of a sudden. It's because what they're doing is they are the generational karma breaker for that lineage, for their own lineage. So we pass down everything that I don't heal, I would pass down to my child,
Yes.
right?
Yes. It's
Everything
true.
my mother didn't heal, passed down to me. Everything my father didn't heal, passed down to me. And I have this awareness, and this is why I know I am the generational karma breaker in my family. So everything that they couldn't overcome, I have to overcome, and this is why I know I've had a difficult life
Okay.
because
You
I
have to
was
clean
meant.
yourself. You have to clean yourself constantly. Yes.
That's right. That's right. And this is cleansing yourself on a soul level, on a spiritual level, on a mental, emotional, physical level. So we have to become very aware. And I think this is why I said I think energy is the future of medicine, because when society starts to realize that we carry generational trauma and karma and that it becomes embedded in the DNA,
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
then we can start to look at disease in a different way.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
True.
Because then when we start to heal those generational traumas and karmas that we are carrying through our lineage, then we are going to start eliminating disease. And I think in the future, there will not really be disease.
Of
But
course.
that, of course, is evolution far further into the future.
Yes, yes. So the
Yeah.
spiritual world, to conclude this conversation very nicely, the traditional world has to give ends to end and to open the arms to a spiritual world. You agree?
Yes.
We have to merge together and not separate apart. As the Course in Miracles say, we are
Yes.
separate from God. So we
Yes.
have to come together. It's just an whole and not in a ego.
That's right.
So it was
We
very
have
nice.
We have
Uh,
to learn to
yes,
transcend the ego. This is our mission. This is the
yes.
mission for all of humanity right now. We are moving through this is to transcend the ego, to learn how to be in our hearts again, to reconnect to God, to reconnect to the source of light that we came from originally. And I think the more and more people that do this, the more and the faster humanity is going to heal, and we're going to rise and ascend together. Yeah.
Okay. It was very, very nice to talk to you. Very
Very nice
thankfully.
to talk to you too. Thank you so much. I really,
Thank
really appreciate this.
me too. So how the people can reach you? Can you say your site or something?
Yes, yes. So my channel is called The Intuitive Healer. So you can connect with me there. You can follow me there.
Okay.
I also have an Instagram page that is kata_in_tune. So
Okay.
there's a few different ways to connect with me. But if you go to my YouTube channel, then all the links are usually in the
Oh,
description box.
so very, very nice. Very thank you. Gratefully from the heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Bye.
so much for the opportunity. It was very nice to meet you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.